Hello and welcome back. In this video, we'll take a look at the Service Catalog. The Service Catalog is a very complex application that serves as a marketplace where employees can request goods and services. It has a strong history of providing IT services, but may also be used for other services in an organization, like facility services. Due to the complexity of the Service Catalog, we'll only be scratching the surface. However, we'll cover the main topics such as catalogs, categories, items, requests, request items, tasks, variables, and variable sets. We'll also discuss record producers, order guides, and workflows involved in the Service Catalog. ServiceNow supports multiple catalogs, so we can have an IT services catalog, an HR catalog, and really a number of other catalogs. Each catalog contains a number of categories, such as hardware, software, and so on. Each category contains catalog items, such as an iPhone or a particular service. It's important to note that an item may belong to multiple categories, such as a phone being placed in a hardware category and a mobile category. When a user requests items through ServiceNow, a parent request record is created. Then, for each item requested, such as a phone or laptop, a request item record is created. Finally, each request item may have a number of catalog tasks which must be complete in order to successfully fulfill the item. Let's go ahead and switch over to ServiceNow and take a look at the Service Catalog. We'll start by expanding the Service Catalog application. Here we see a number of options. We'll click on Catalogs, where we are taken to a page that lists the different catalogs in ServiceNow. Out of the box, we have a technical catalog and a service catalog. If we go into the service catalog, we are taken to another page which lists the categories in the service catalog. We'll click on the hardware category. We are now taken to the hardware category page, where hardware items are listed. For the purposes of this demo, we'll request a new MacBook Pro. We'll click on the item and say let's change the quantity to 2. Now we'll click on Add to Cart. This will add the items to our cart so we can continue shopping. Now we'll order some software. We'll click on the software category and order Acrobat. We'll click Add to Cart and then click Proceed to Checkout in the Shopping Cart menu. We are then taken to an order status page that shows us what we just requested, along with some information like our request number, each item we requested along with their stages, and some additional information. We can expand the stage field in order to see the processes that each item must go through before it's marked complete. Now let's click on our request number to be taken to the request record. Here we see the request with some information about who requested it, its due date, and total price. At the bottom, we have 4 related lists. We have our requested items, approvers, group approvals, and reoccurring prices. Each request item corresponds to an item we purchased. Let's navigate into a request item record. Here we see information that is specific to the item we requested, in this case, the MacBook Pro. This item has a stage of fulfillment and a state of open. It turns out there are 4 tasks involved with delivering a MacBook Pro. However, if we scroll down, we only see one task. This is because the second task can only be started once the first task is complete. If we go into the first task and click Close Task, the system will mark it as complete. We are taken back to the request item, and now we see a second task. We'll add the state field to the list, and we can see a Close Complete and Open status. We'll navigate into the workflow for this request item. Here we can see the process involved with ordering a MacBook Pro. We can see that the workflow is currently waiting for the second task to be complete before the third task is created. We'll complete the second task and refresh the list. We now see the third task. We'll complete this as well, where we see the fourth and final task. If we complete this task and go back into the workflow, we can see this workflow is now complete. We'll click Update to be taken back to the parent request record. If we scroll down to the bottom and expand the stage field of the request item, we can see our stage is now complete since we have completed the 4 tasks involved with the MacBook Pro. If we navigate into the Acrobat request item, we can see it has its own tasks involved. In the application menu, we can navigate to all open requests, request items, or tasks. Again, each request contains request items, and each request item contains tasks. If we expand the catalog definition section, we can see a number of modules for maintaining the service catalog. We can create new catalogs, new categories, and new items. We can create dynamic categories such as the most popular items, and we can create order guides and record producers. If we click on Maintain Items, we are taken to a list of all catalog items in the system. We'll go into the MacBook Pro catalog item. Here we can make modifications to the item. Each item has a number of fields associated with it. The item can also have its own workflow, price, description, as well as variables for selecting different combinations of an item. Now let's take a look at order guides. Order guides provide a way of combining multiple items into one bundle, or ordering experience. If we go into the Request Developer Project equipment, we can click the Try It button where we can demo the order guide. Here we can select the software we would like to order, where each software item is its own catalog item. If we click Choose Options, we are taken to another tab where we can view and/or change the variables on the catalog items included in this bundle. We'll go ahead and check out. We are now taken to a checkout page where we can modify our order before we finalize it. Now we'll take a look at record producers. Let's go into the Ask a Question record producer. Record producers provide a way to insert records into a desired table using a modified form. So what do I mean? Well, in this record producer, we see a table of incident selected. When a user fills out the variables on this record producer, the answers will be mapped to fields on the incident table, where a new incident record is then created. This gives us the ability to create user-friendly forms which help guide the user towards a solution rather than confuse them. If we click Try It, we are taken to the record producer's form view. We'll fill out the form, and when we click Submit, a new record is created on the incident table, mapping the form fields to the incident record fields. You can also set predefined fields. For example, when a user creates an incident using this method, the incident category field will automatically be set to Help. Finally, we have a number of other options and properties related to the service catalog in the catalog policies, catalog variables, and mobile admin sections. Each item can have a set of variables such as the storage on a mobile phone. For example, an iPhone can come with 16, 32, or 64 gigs of storage. This can be presented on an item using variables. If certain variables are common among different types of items, we can create what are called variable sets. In a variable set, we define the variables once, and then we can add them to any number of items. For example, we may have 10 different computers in our hardware category. However, each computer has the same options for selecting an external monitor, a mouse, and a keyboard. If we create these variables once in a variable set, we can then add the variable set to each computer item, reducing the redundancy of maintaining 10 times 3 or 30 separate variables for each computer. Now we'll create 2 new catalog items and a new variable set that the items will share. Let's start by creating a new desktop computer. We'll navigate to Maintain Items and click New. Here we can provide a number of options. We'll give it a name of desktop computer and a price of $500 with a monthly recurring price of $50. We'll then add it to the service catalog and put it in the hardware category. We'll provide an out-of-the-box workflow and give a short description of desktop computer. Once we save this item, we'll get some related lists at the bottom. We'll go to the Variable Set tab and click on New. We'll provide a name of computer variables and save the record. Now we can add new variables which are related to a computer into this variable set. We'll create a checkbox for insurance. And we'll add a storage variable, which will be a select box with a 500 gigabyte and 1 terabyte option. Let's say the 1 terabyte option will be an extra $50. We'll update the records, and now we'll create a laptop computer catalog item. We'll provide the same information in this record, and we'll add our variable set. Now we'll order our newly created catalog items by going into the service catalog, selecting hardware, and clicking on desktop computer. We see our 2 variables here, and we see an increase of $50 when we select a terabyte. We'll add this to the cart, and now we'll order a laptop. As you can see, we have the same 2 variables here. We'll add this to the cart and click Order Now to complete the order. As you can see, the service catalog is very complex, and therefore we will not be able to cover it all in this course. If you have questions about the service catalog, I recommend reading the ServiceNow documentation.